Good evening, everybody. We're here to discuss the case of Anthony Robert Bass Jr., who was 18 years old when he went missing from Atwater, California on August 28th, 1995, right? Okay.
Correct.
Okay, we're here with one of Anthony's best friend. Her name is Tara, and also his sister Dolores. They're going to shed some insight on as the day that Robert went missing. I mean, I'm sorry, Anthony. I'm sorry, Anthony went missing. So Tara, you were one of Anthony's friends, right?
Yes, for a very long time.
Okay, so can you tell us uh, the events leading up to him going missing, like what happened, and then what happened?
So what I know of what happened, I wasn't there that day,
Uh,
but I had a friend of mine, Angel, her boyfriend was the one that was supposed to go with him as well.
okay.
And from his story was that they were supposed to go fishing. That kid, he got left behind. We don't know what that reason was for. And they were supposed to go fishing. Well, later that evening, and this came from Anthony's girlfriend at the time, what she had told Cindy and myself when we went over there trying to get answers, uh, that Anthony went fishing with Joel Wedge and he never came home. She'd seen Joel Wedge that evening and he acted very suspicious. She did say that he was in the backyard. He had thrown up in the backyard because they weren't neighbors. Anthony and them lived right above him. So you could see down into his backyard or his little fenced in backyard off the apartments there. And when he asked her, when Anthony's girlfriend asked him at the time, where was Anthony? He told her that he had dropped him off in Chowchilla. Well, everyone knows Anthony. Anthony was born and raised there, and no one seen him. He was not dropped off in Chowchilla. He would have went to his grandma's house, his cousin Roger's house. He would have showed up somewhere. Um, and everybody knew and loved Anthony there. So that's what he told. The cops were called. Cindy made a report of her son missing, but again, it hadn't been 24 hours yet, so there was really nothing they would do. Um, then later on, when they did take the missing persons report. Cindy done a bunch of flyers and they were being posted everywhere. It had the license plate number with a picture of the Jeep that they left in, or it was like a little SUV type Jeep style thing, more like a little Ford Ranger or something to that effect. It's been a lot of years, I can't remember the 100% details of the vehicle. But DJ, do you have any of those flyers left by any chance?
I do. I was going through some of my mom's stuff and I found them. So I can
Are you?
find them and yep, and send
Yeah,
mhm.
yeah, because it was the Jeep and everything, and Outwater didn't even run the plates of it, knowing he was the last. That was the last vehicle he was in.
Wow.
Later on, it was probably about a month, Stanislaus County, some officer just saw the flyer and decided, I don't know why, but they ran the plates and it decided they'd come back. It was a stolen vehicle. Joel then did go to jail for that stolen vehicle. And supposedly they asked him, and he told the police the same thing that he had told Anthony's girlfriend, that he dropped him off on the park on 15th Street, which if Anthony was going to get dropped off at the park in
Hmm.
Chowchilla, it'd have been at Downtown Park on 6th and Robinson, not 15th Street. We didn't hang out there. That wasn't the hangout. So there was a lot of fishy stuff. I did try to get to him before they released him from Sandy Mush for doing the time out at Sandy Mush. It's a road camp out there in Merced County.
Hmm.
And I had people there. They were going to find out where Anthony was, but he told the county, the police, that he was afraid for his life from the Bass family. So they let him out early.
Wow. So he basically just got out early, and after this, nothing happened. Were there any kind of investigation? Did they look for Anthony? Nothing.
So I went and I got the police report. I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, and I talked to the sheriff, and he wasn't not the sheriff, like the head guy at Atwater Police, and he said that it was a dead end, that they did do their investigation, but there was people from different towns in the mountains that said that they spotted my brother here, or they spotted my brother there, and they never did follow-ups. And so I remember I was 5 at the time. I was so young. I just
Right.
remember my
Yes, you
childhood was really just taken from me, because I just remember going on marches in Sacramento and in the mountains with my mom and Tara and my whole family looking for my brother. And
we we
we did
picketed the
so
Atwater
much.
Police Department for weeks.
And they didn't do. I remember my mom was devastated because they didn't do anything. My mom rented a helicopter to look for my brother, like out of pocket. It was my whole childhood just looking for my brother. Even to this day, like, we
We
don't
all
have
want to know
answers.
what happened.
Right. Right. Okay. And so I mean, have there any been have you, I mean, has the family did any other searches besides that? I mean, I know you went on multiple searches. Did you
There
do a lot of?
wasn't, I guarantee you, there wasn't a place from probably Fresno to Sacramento that Cindy Sandlin did not search for her son.
Right. Yeah, I was reading some of her story, and when did she pass away?
She passed away September 11th of 2021.
2021. Yeah, because I know I was searching a couple years ago to try to find and try to get a story, but I think I was already too late. Yeah, like I said, Anthony's story is just a story that is like others that just stood out with me, and I posted it so many times. And at the time, like I said before, I talked to you guys. There was only a little bit of information, at the time. So this updated information is, pretty good to have. And I know we talked about the DNA test. That's another thing too. I'm surprised that they never came forward and got your DNA.
They never even really asked Cindy questions.
Mm.
Nobody, they didn't even pull an Angel's boyfriend who was supposed to go with him.
So they didn't
With
interview
those two,
nobody.
there was a third person. They never even questioned him,
I
just
just
to
rem-
see what because they were all going to go fishing. I wish I could remember his name, but I can't save my life. I've tried for days to remember this guy's name. Um, uh, they was supposed to go with him, and they never asked him any questions. You would think the last person to see Anthony besides Joel, they would have wanted to speak to, right?
Yes, it was
And then they
everybody
left.
was.
Anthony and Joel, for some reason, took off without him. They were supposed to go over and pick him up because he was getting his toolbox and fishing pole.
Yeah, I heard
I
about this other guy that was supposed to be going, and then you said somehow he got ditched. You don't know why he got ditched.
Yeah, I still this day, when I talked to him last, he didn't know either.
Wow.
I've heard a lot of different stories of what happened. Um and so, like, you don't really know what to believe, like, I just know that my brother would never just leave, like,
Right.
from all the
No,
stories that people
Anthony
tell
wouldn't have
me.
left.
My brother would never just up and leave. He had a son on the way.
He,
He knew that. He was so excited to be a dad. He loved me as his sister.
oh, he
um
loved you, DJ. No,
and
he
so
loved
I
you.
know
You were
that he
his
didn't just leave.
person. No,
Mm-hmm.
he didn't
But
leave.
I
He
know.
did not go nowhere willingly to think he was not coming back.
I don't think he did either. From reading the story, I've always read the story. I've always thought that. And and there's another question I have. You said I heard there was another person that went missing around Joel.
Yes, her name is okay. So the story. This is I heard this. Well, I didn't hear. I knew the lady very well. She worked with my mom. They bartended at Farnese. She was the cocktail server. Her name was Lisa Trabucco.
Okay.
Okay, her first husband brother was supposedly a roommate with Joel shortly after Anthony's disappearance, and um, when he got out of jail and stuff, and they kind of lived up in the foothills, to my understanding, like LaGrange. And that, I don't know if it was LaGrange, but there's like a Corsco LaGrange. There's that center of California right there, and it was in one of those areas up above Merced. And he went missing. or it was her husband's brother. So her brother-in-law went missing and was living with Joel at the time. They did end up finding him like a year later, and he was dead on the side of a ravine up there by the property they lived at, rolled up in a rug. That supposedly came out of the house. That's what Lisa Trabucco told me.
And he was never charged for that or nothing like that?
No.
And they didn't look at him? I mean, you would think that if he went missing, he went missing around him, and then this also happened to Anthony, you would have thought they would have did some kind of investigation, checked Joel out or something, so nothing, huh?
I would think so too, but not to my knowledge did that ever happen.
I remember going to court for Joel when Joel got arrested. I remember going in the courtroom with Aunt Dawn and my mom. I do remember that, but it's like flashbacks, little bits and pieces.
Yeah, you were young.
I was so little. I just know my mom, she never stopped searching. She never,
Nope.
ever. She had the poster of my brother on her truck, on her car, no matter where it was. She had it. We had shirts made. They seen a couple or one of those
Psychics and
a
everything.
psychic and everything, and she told my mom that my brother wasn't here, but they were looking in the wrong places. I heard that he got killed because he was black and he was dating a white girl,
I was just
and they
about to
didn't
ask you
like
a
that.
question. Just about to ask you, do you think the color of his skin is the reason why his case wasn't investigated?
Yes,
Okay,
I believe so.
I want to let you know in on this too.
Okay.
So Anthony's girlfriend at the time's dad was he was like an Arab or something of that.
Russian, no, something.
No, not Russian.
No,
He was someone that I almost didn't wonder if the dad to that girl didn't have something done too. That always crossed my mind.
I heard that too, and I did talk to Sarah's brother, Marty. Remember Marty? He was my age, a little bit older than me. I talked to him not too long ago, and come to find out, their dad did drive truck long haul.
Yeah, he did not like Anthony and her together at all.
Yes, and so I did hear that, and I also heard that some people have been telling me that my brother's not in the state. He's not here, but he's not in the state. And so I'm wondering if maybe he went out of state, and who knows, they were in on it and they got rid of him. But I know Sarah won't talk to me to this day.
So
she
when
won't?
did she stop talking to you?
No. She will not answer me, my messages. I friend requested her. I friend requested Anthony. I've talked to Marty. Marty told me that he found out that she told Anthony not to talk to me, nothing. So I'm wondering if she was in on it too.
That right there, that's a sign of guilt to me right there, by not talking to you, by not answering you. So that's why
you would think she'd want her son to know what's left of her dad's family.
Yeah. So it seems like
or her baby's dad's family.
I mean,
so that came up early on. In that, that was a question. Did Joel deliver him to her dad? Do you know what I mean? So it's all been, But then you saw that message I sent you from that one guy that went to the Stockton police. Yeah,
I saw that. Yeah, that was crazy too.
Yeah, that kind of blew me away because he saw my post on your post and he got a hold of me. And
who was that, Tara?
This guy saw me post on when this gentleman right here posted of your brother. And it's kind of hard for me to tell you, DJ, because Joel's wife, do you remember Joel's wife's name?
No, I don't. But I can probably ask Aunt Donya because Aunt Donya remembers.
Okay, I remember the post now. I remember that post exactly you're talking about now. Yes, I remember exactly what you're.
He went to this guy went to the Stockton police in February, I think, February of this year, and supposedly Joel's wife admitted to her that he killed Anthony and he's killed another guy and thrown him in the Sacramento River, and he's killed a couple women in Lodi, and that's hard for me to tell you, baby girl,
It's
but
okay. It's okay. I know through it all that God has a plan for all of it. I know it
He
hurts me
does. He
too.
definitely
I
does
know
have a
my life would
plan.
be different, but if this helps to bring my brother home, that way I
that's
have.
why I sent it to this gentleman because I see him post Anthony, and I thought there's someone that actually cares and didn't even know him. And
Hmm.
if you knew him, you'd have loved the guy, man.
Right. Uh, yeah, go ahead, take your time, because I understand how hard this is. I talk to a lot of families, and it never gets easier to talk to family and friends. So I totally understand what you guys are going through. Again, like I said, I hope this podcast helps us. Hopefully, somebody out there sees this podcast. They know some information. Any of Anthony's friends, if you can remember anything around that time, anybody, please call
He
Atwater.
hung
Please
out
call
with
them.
Johnny Motto. He hung out with Roger Dodger, those were his buddies. But
Right.
they weren't around right then because Anthony had just moved to Outwater with that girl because she got pregnant. Because they did live in Chowchilla, that's how Anthony met her. She wasn't a local, you know what I mean? This family showed up, and then it's like they captured Anthony, and then they went to Outwater, and then Anthony was gone.
So how long did it take for them to move away after he went missing?
Uh, it was within the year.
So
She moved to Sacramento. She went to
Yep.
school at UC Davis. That's where my brother's girlfriend Sarah at the time went. She was doing, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, because the last time I went there, I think it was in junior high. So that was years ago. Because I'll be 35 this year.
mm-hmm.
So I think she's a brain surgeon or something.
Wow.
Yeah. So she
Yeah.
was a very smart girl, but I feel that she knows something that she doesn't want to tell, and whoever knows anything, just I would hope that they would come forward regardless of the consequences or anything, that just to bring peace to my family. My mom's not
Right.
here to get justice. His dad, I don't really talk to my brother's dad, so I don't know how he feels about it or anything like that. I do know that he has a brother also named Anthony, who lives in Washington State, who did get a hold of me a while back asking me some questions, because he's overheard his dad talk about it. But there's been really no extra. I asked them to open up the case again in Atwater, and they said there wasn't enough evidence to do so. Um, when I went in, I think it was back in 2020, I want to say 2019, 2020, I did go.
Well, like I said, I think one of the first steps is definitely getting that DNA. Definitely doing that DNA on ancestry, and you know,
And
somewhere,
your blood will work, DJ, because you guys had the same mom.
Yeah.
yeah, it definitely worked. And like I said, hopefully it yields something because hold
I
on.
think he dropped.
Yeah, I'm back. Somebody was trying to call me. Sorry about that. I tell people, I just told them I said I'm doing a podcast. Don't call me. Okay. So what we said, I'm sorry.
You're fine.
So, okay, I know what I'm about to ask. Now, Anthony's son. Have you guys met him? Does he know anything about his father?
I
The
saw him when he was just barely a brand new baby, and then they were gone. And it took Cindy a while to catch up with him, you know,
Mm-hmm.
after they
I
left.
think my mom pressed the issue a lot to see him. And so I feel like Sarah felt guilty, and so she allowed him around, but once she was able to really just move on, she moved on real fast. I know that he goes by Anna now. I
Okay.
do know that. I do have him as a friend on Facebook, but I don't know if he wants to reach out, or I'm sure he knows about his dad,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if maybe that's too much for him. I don't know. I haven't talked to him.
What's he go
Okay.
by? Annan?
Well, I
Anna,
guess it's
Anna
understandable
Bass.
because he. Anna Bass. He goes by Anna Bass now. I actually seen his page
Mhm.
because I'm pretty sure he didn't probably had some questions about who his dad is. It may be his mom that might not. That's probably keeping stuff in him. Not telling him fully about it. But I'm pretty sure that he'll probably eventually end up seeing something, or he'll find out, or he'll be intrigued as to what happened to his father, because all parents want. I mean, all
He's
kids
got
want
to
to
be
know
like
who their mother
28
or who
now,
their dad
yeah.
is.
He was born in 1996.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
how I
around
know
that
he's
age, I'm
28
thinking
because,
28, because
Mhm.
yeah, he's 28
yeah,
because Ricky's 29 and they were
A year
about a
apart.
year apart. Yeah.
Yep. Mhm.
yeah. So, what was the atmosphere like Atwater when he went missing? Was it a big talk in the town, or was there anybody
No.
hardly saying
Oh,
anything?
no, because no one knew him in Atwater. That wasn't his hometown. The talk was in Chowchilla because we were all his friends. We're the ones that were
Okay, so
going and looking
Chowchilla.
for him. And
Okay, have there any? I mean, have you heard any places where he might be, or anything, or just nothing at all?
I've heard a few stories since growing up, because people like to talk and they're like,
Did you
"Oh,
hear me?
so I've heard that he got killed because he was black and he was with a white girl, and that they tied cement to his feet and threw him in a lake so his body wouldn't float up."
Okay,
And then I heard that they went to go rob like a weed farm up in the mountains, and my brother was caught, but
hmm
Joel wasn't. Um, so I feel like he's some. I don't. You feel it. I know he's not alive no more. Like I can feel that.
right.
But like, where is he?
Okay.
Because people just vanish. But it's like the people. Somebody has to know something. So.
Of
he
course, I
was so
agree.
good
I agree
looking. I always
100%. Someone has to
wonder
know.
if he didn't
I agree.
get put into the
It's always
sex
something. Like I
trade.
always say.
Oh yeah.
Because he was a good looking man. Women
Hmm.
threw themselves at him. He was beautiful. And I always thought, man, what if they sold him off to the sex trade just because he was so pretty? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
We didn't
Hmm.
know. We tried to think of
Right, right.
anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I can
Yeah,
To
all
kind
the
of
girls loved
lighten
him.
the, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense too. Cause I did hear about that. Everybody wanted my brother. I did hear that growing up.
Yeah.
Because Chowchilla's so little. They're like, man, if you would have knew your brother. And I'm like, I do not want to think about my brother like that. But thanks.
Exactly.
He was
It's always
fine.
gonna be somebody that it's always
Yeah.
gonna be somebody that brings that up.
Yeah,
It's always gonna
always.
be
And
somebody that
and
brings
I'm
that
okay
up.
with that. Yep.
And he was built like a brick house.
Oh my
Look at her.
Lord.
Well,
He
that's
was
good.
my age,
It
so
sits back and think about the memories.
Hey, we had our moment.
Oh Lord, you're on a podcast.
Right, right.
He's like, oh
That's how
I'm
we
really so glad
started
you
as
guys.
boyfriend and girlfriend, but we realized we were just better friends. So we decided just to
Okay.
be friends. Do you know
no.
what I mean?
Okay.
And I was pregnant right then, 18. My baby's dad was worthless. And, Anthony was such a good friend. I had my own little place and he come by, he'd come up on some money, but he knew I was just there pregnant and alone. He'd come by. This was the last time I saw him before he went missing. He come by. It was probably like 3 or 4 days, and he's all, Jared, what do you need? I go, I don't need nothing, Anthony. I got it. And he didn't have much for his own, but he still left me half of what he had as far as cash. And he goes, this is just in case you crave anything, because I was pregnant. And
Right.
and that was another thing. He was getting ready to be a dad. I was going to be a mom. You know what I mean? We were, yes, young because we were 18 years old, but we were like, and we both were living in Atwater, and we were like, yeah, we're growing up, we're becoming adults, and we thought we were all cool, and he was a great guy, man. You just couldn't ask for a better heart.
Yeah, you cherish your childhood, especially your friends, your close friends. Those are the ones that you never forget, and you'll know as you get older, you'll know who you'll still be friends with. You know what I mean?
And me and him would have still been friends because we just clicked, man. We like the same things, but we realized we were just better friends. You know what I mean? Because we did like
Right.
to hang out. He could bullshit with me and say, I had to hear about all his girlfriends, Danya and Sarah. Yeah, whatever he needed to get off his chest, I had to hear it about him, So, and I was the friend, so all the girls were scared of Cindy, Anthony, and DJ's mom. They wouldn't talk to Anthony or come over because they were scared of Cindy Shannon. And that's what Cindy loved about me, because I was like, I'm going to see Anthony. I don't give a shit what this lady says. And I was the only one ever brave enough to go knock on her door and tell her, I want to hang out with Anthony, And so she let me in, and she goes, and I'd be worrying what they were doing in that room. But if she was brave enough to come over here, I had to let her in.
So like mom was a tough cookie.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, no,
cookie.
my mom, they called her Mean Cindy Jean, and they did that for a
Mean Cindy
reason.
Mean
Jean.
Cindy Jean.
Mean Cindy Jean, yep. Mm-hmm.
Mean Cindy Jean. That's funny.
Yep.
That's what
That's
they called
funny.
her.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Well, I'm glad to share some memories with y'all about Anthony and his mother. Because I know I know they're looking down and they're proud that you guys are continuing to fight, because a lot of times you get people after a case has been cold so long, they quit, they give up. I love when people don't give up. I love when they keep fighting. 'Cause that's the only thing you can
Well,
do. And we're gonna keep fighting until we get some kind of answers in Anthony's disappearance, because it'll be 30 years this year. That's a long
Yes.
time.
I
It's
know.
a long time. Long time.
Long
And that
time.
it's so long for somebody to go missing without no answers at all. Yes, definitely. So, what do you guys want to see with the case like going forward? I mean, I know you said you want to see it opened up,
We
and I
did. He
definitely
just
think
needs
that
to go
they
home.
should
He needs
revisit
to be home with
everybody,
his
question
sister.
Joel again. No, just question people, because yes, I agree. I agree. We're going to do that DNA test this week coming up too. That's the first thing we're going to do, and so that
Sounds
way,
good.
so we can get that ball rolling. Because, like, again, I'm not surprised that they didn't ask for a DNA, because they barely investigated the case at all. And
Barely, yeah.
I know your mom was frustrated a lot of times and brokenhearted because she never got any answers, because it seemed like she fought tooth and nails, to find answers about her son.
And even
And this
even
was her
my
only son, right?
no, my mom, she actually had a son before him. So this is her middle child, and then I'm her last, but her oldest, he
Oh,
passed away of
okay.
crib death. Mm-hmm. When he was like 3 months old, and then it was my brother, and so
Oh, okay. I got you.
mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Wow.
Cindy
Okay.
told me one time,
And you said you
she
don't
goes,
talk to
it
Anthony.
hurts to have lost two kids. She goes, but at least my first, I know where he's at.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm. I can, as a parent, I can never imagine. I read a lot of these cases, and I'm like, I just be wondering how the parents feel. It's not really a feeling that they can describe. I just never want to be in those shoes
I
again.
don't know how Cindy did it.
I don't know. My mom kept going for me. I can say that. My mom showed up to everything for me. She provided for me. Even though we did all those things, she never was not once there for me. Regardless of
Yes.
her feelings, what we were doing, she always made sure I was taken care of.
Yep, she did that for sure.
Hmm. With the best that she knew how. And so I can say that. Yep.
But you did a lot of road dogging with your mom, beating them mountains looking for your brother. I know that.
Yeah, we did. So as to answer your question, I just want answers, for my family. A lot of my family isn't here anymore. My grandma she slept from the time that my brother disappeared to the day that she died. My grandma slept right next to her telephone. She never slept in a bed since the day that my brother came up missing. She would always sleep by the phone waiting for his phone call. She never changed her number. She didn't move, nothing. That way, if my brother ever was just missing, that he would just come and walk home to her house. So I just want answers, for myself. So, I can maybe provide those to his son and just bring him home.
Right, right, and that's totally understandable. That you want
maybe
answers.
dig up maybe dig up really what's going on, maybe what he was involved in, regardless of what it makes him look like. It doesn't matter what he was in, or if they're scared for people to know maybe a different side of my brother. I don't care what he was in or what he did. He was somebody's brother, he was somebody's dad, he was somebody's son, he was somebody's cousin, he was people's friends, and so he's a human, and I just want to know what happened to him.
Right, definitely. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Young, and got he. No, he was young. He had his whole life ahead of him, and it's just
We had our
sad.
whole lives ahead of
Yeah,
us.
Hmm.
yeah. And it's just sad that you don't get to grow up and experience things like
I
marriage,
don't. Hmm.
on a home, all those type things.
You didn't get
Me
to be an
myself,
uncle to your babies, and he'd have been a good uncle, know that.
Oh yeah, I know. I
right?
wouldn't have get down. Yeah. Oh, absolutely,
He would have been
absolutely.
overprotective too.
Yes. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he was very protective over me. My mom and everybody's told me stories where he's shown up
Oh
and
yeah,
picked
you
me
were
up and
his.
took me home, and yep,
Yep, because had a but there was what was the age gap,
13 years.
DJ?
13.
13 years. So
Hmm.
he was proud of his little sister. Yeah. And what's funny is we all lived in the same little apartment complex. When I'd go over to Anthony's house to hang out with him at his house, and every time DJ'd see me, she'd see me and she goes, "My brother's home," or "My brother's not home."
I guess I used to tell
She
her,
always
huh?
kept me she made sure I knew if Anthony was home or not.
That's funny.
to make
She was
sure, huh?
little.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm glad you have some memories that you remember your brother by, and that you can sit back and laugh with them. Because sometimes we gotta
Yeah.
laugh to keep from crying.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, we
I
definitely
mean,
I've
gotta.
learned that. Hmm.
I have a lot of memories with Anthony just because we were the same age. Our little
Play. You guys'
at
little
night
play.
at our night activities, and all of us friends doing stupid stuff, because
Hmm.
it was just that's in our little town we grew up where we felt safe, and you know what I mean. We knew we could go sneak out and creep through town, try not to get caught by the cops because we
Hmm.
were minors out past curfew, because we'd be trying to sneak over to Roger's house or
Hmm.
uh, uh, Johnny Motto's so we could go smoke some weed. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
You're
And,
right.
it's just
I know about all
you
that,
know
so trust me.
all
Hmm.
I know
that
about
fun
all that.
stuff, getting to grow up and be kids and do. And back then we were kids growing up. We were different than the kids are now. We didn't have cell phones, and
Hmm.
you know what I mean. We had to be kids and find stuff to do that wasn't so illegal that we had to worry about getting in trouble and going to juvenile hall.
Hmm.
So
right. Yeah.
and it was fun.
And I feel like I heard this too, and I could be wrong, but so I think the Atwater Police Department told me that my brother was arrested for something, and he was like going to court during the time that he disappeared, and so I guess they looked at it as he was running away from, like his responsibilities or whatever it
and
was.
I remember vaguely back then the cops asking Cindy, "Do you think he would have ran off because he's got some young girl pregnant and he ain't ready to be a dad?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "No way," because me and Anthony had talks about he was going to be a dad, I was going to be a mom, we were going to be aunt and uncles to each other's kids,
Hmm.
and you know
Yeah.
it was
Yeah, I don't think he would have
that.
ran off for a little charge either. Like you said, he had a son on the way. Nah, he's not running off. Mm-mm.
And he loved
And
his
if he,
mom. He loved his little sister. He loved his grandma. His grandma was his person, you know what I mean? He would have never left without letting Wilma know he was going. Even if he planned on running away and taking off, if he'd have told anybody, it'd have been your grandma, DJ.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Or Roger Bankston. He'd have told him they were best friends.
Yeah. I know every time Roger sees me, he cries.
Wow.
Yeah.
That just shows that that friendship will never die, and he always thinks about Anthony too. And I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure his friends have wondered about his case too. All these years, no answers. So
Tara, do you remember the guy's name? He was my brother's friend. I know that he was black and he was crazy. I know he used to go to my grandma's house and my grandma, I don't remember his name though. Do you remember his name?
From Chowchilla?
Yeah, I want to say Freddie or I don't remember his name.
I think it was, so I can't remember his name either, but that kid had tied into somewhere with Anthony's dad. I don't know if it was Anthony's dad's friend's kid or, do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but yeah, but he was a good kind of crazy.
Yeah. No, he wasn't like bad. He was just very hyper, like a hyper
Yes,
kid.
he
Yeah.
was funny and shit. He used to make
Yeah.
us laugh, but yet I can't remember his name. I
okay,
totally forgot about him till right now.
Because I
Because
remember
he
he used
wasn't
to show up to
around.
grandma's house.
Huh?
He used to show up to grandma's house. I do remember that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
and you said he wasn't around when Anthony went missing.
No.
Okay, so everything. So
No,
basically,
Anthony moved. Anthony all said those people landed in town. They were there, what, maybe a year? At the most, because your Anthony was dating Danya, and then him and Danya broke up, and he started dating that Sarah girl, and then bam, she was pregnant, and they moved to Atwater, and then within a couple months of that, Anthony was missing, and within a couple minutes, I mean, it don't even seem like the events from her showing up in Chowchilla, them starting dating, because him and Danya broke up, because Danya was that was the love of his life,
Girl.
I
Yeah,
believe. You know what I
oh,
mean?
that was his girl. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for us being 18, if he loved any of the girls that he'd been around, she was it. You know what I mean? And got Sarah knocked up, and he liked Sarah. You know what I mean? But she ended up pregnant so fast, it just kind of threw him like, oh, but he was gonna be there. His dad wasn't around much. So
Mhm.
Anthony didn't know his own dad really well, and so I don't think he would abandon that baby because
No.
he
No.
wanted to be there for him because his dad. I mean, Anthony had a good stepdad. DJ's dad treated Anthony like his own kid. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, but his real father, all kids yearn for the real father, no matter how great the father figure is there. But it just. There's so much mystery to it, and it happened so fast. Within a year's time from him meeting that girl in
He went missing.
Chowchilla, and then them being in Atwater and her leaving, that's about how long it took. You know what I mean?
Wow.
They
So that
showed
was.
up out of nowhere, and I don't know. You probably don't know much about Chowchilla, but at that time, it was very rare for someone to move into town. You know what I mean? There was
Because it's
no
not a
work
popular
there,
place.
huh?
I heard that they moved because they were running from Sarah's dad.
See, that's what I heard too.
I heard that they moved to Chowchilla because they were running from Sarah's dad. Then dad found them, and so they all moved in, I guess, in Atwater or something. But I don't
Yeah.
know because I was so little. So
Yeah, that's what happened. And that's what I heard too. So, and then I heard that where he found him in Outlaw and stuff, and that's when he found out his daughter was pregnant, and he wasn't happy about it.
hmm
But Sarah did say she left with Joel, or he left with Joel, and there was the other guy, I wish I could remember his name to save my life. He said
I'll
they
look
were all
into
getting ready
that.
to go fishing, and he got ditched.
Yeah, I'll look into that. I'll try to see. What angel are you talking about?
Angel Corey.
Angel Corey. Okay, I'll ask. I'll ask Antonia.
She was she was from Atwater. I went to when I left when my parents moved out onto Buhack. I
Mm-hmm.
went to school with her. We were good friends, but we had a falling out over political stuff. So, but yeah, if you could get a hold of her and get because she had a baby with that guy.
Okay.
So she remembers name and stuff. I want to. I wish I just can't remember it. I'm sorry. I'm
It
old.
happens.
I'm almost 50 years old.
I'm all it happens. I can't remember some stuff neither. So
I think we dropped him.
I think so. I don't know.
I'm glad you responded to this guy, DJ, because I
No,
watch
Rick.
him.
Yeah, no. Ricky sent me a screenshot and said, hey, my mom said to get a hold of these people, that they want to help you." And so I messaged him. I told Ricky, "Thank you." So thank you, because you don't know
Yeah.
who's
Well,
out there to help you.
I've seen him post about Anthony, every about 6 months it pops up. He
Yeah.
shares it. And then when I commented on that, one guy got a hold of me and told me what story Joel's wife had told him. I
Can you
said,
send me
here,
that?
maybe,
Can you
yeah,
send me that guy's name, please? Just so I
I'll
can.
have to, you're gonna have to send me friends request or whatever.
Okay, I can do
And
that.
then, yeah, I'll share it to you.
I think we did lose him.
I think so too. I love you.
I love you too.
Send me a friend request.
Okay, I'll talk to you
All
later.
right. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'm back.
Oh, you're
Oh, okay,
back.
Sometimes the
there you
phone
are.
calls knock me off. Yeah,
Uh,
sometimes the phone calls knock me off. Like I can tell 10 people I'm on a podcast and they'll still call me. I hate that so much.
and they still
But
call you.
yeah, like I said, I was listening to you guys because I can still hear you. I am glad that you did respond to my messages. Yes, and I have been posting Anthony like nonstop for probably like the last years, and I do that purposely. I never post one case one time because it's always that first time you may miss somebody, and then the next time a relative or somebody might pop up. Like I sent you messages last year out of my personal inbox, Klein Williams. You probably didn't know who I was at the time, Dolores.
Probably not, but I'll have to go look.
Yeah, so yeah, but that was me trying to get a hold of you guys last year. But like I said, again, I'm glad you guys responded to this and we were able to do this broadcast. And I sincerely hope that somebody out there in Atwater or Chowchilla comes forward, whether it be his friend or somebody that knows Joel. Can shed
The
some light on this.
truth lies with Joel.
Somebody knows something. Just got to find
Yeah,
out who.
yeah, yep. Well, I appreciate both of you guys, for doing this
Joe's
and
never been
taking
excluded,
time. And
right?
what
Now
happened?
Joe's never
Huh?
been excluded. I mean, he's never been named as a suspect.
Nope, he never
Nobody was
been named
named
a
as.
suspect.
I don't think
There's
nobody was
no,
named as a suspect because they just put it as
But now
he ran
Joe, okay,
away.
he's never been named as a suspect, right?
no.
Okay, but he's
They
also
never
never.
even I don't think there was a case of really, they went after anybody because they, like I said, he was young, he got this girl pregnant. Was he running from that? Was he, it was just, they didn't take it serious. I don't think so much because it was black, he was black.
Mm-hmm.
Because right then in that area, I lived in that area, and there wasn't like a lot of racism. It
Okay.
was California. We'd gotten
Okay.
past a lot of that. Yes, there was still racist people,
Mm-hmm.
but I remember I don't think it was that. They thought he took off because he had knocked up this girl.
Okay. I get. Okay. That's okay. That's
You
what I
know what I
want.
mean? And he didn't want to be a dad, and you know.
Right. Right.
I do know Anthony had recently got in trouble for something. I just can't remember what it was. It might have been for
I'm gonna have to
possession of
find the police
pot.
report because my friend, she did go with me and she's here with me. So she remembers some of the police report, but I'm gonna have to look it and send it to
Yeah,
you so that way we can all you maybe look into it. Maybe we might recognize names or something, you know?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said, and then too, I'm pretty sure after this, we may find out more information. If we have to come back and do a part two or something, or some more information, that's totally fine. I'm with whatever we're trying to find out what happened to him. I'm with whatever. I'll help you out the best I can.
The
I'll
truth
share
lies
his
with
story with
Joel.
me.
Thank you. I
Huh?
appreciate it.
Yes.
I said the truth lies with Joel.
And I totally agree that that the truth lies with Joel. I think the truth has always lied with him. I think he's been running around, and I can't remember where I saw the report at, but I heard he's locked up right now for assault and a stolen car. I have to search those records, but sent me. I just haven't been able to find it in my inbox, but they
Wedge.
said that he was currently locked up.
Hmm. So he could be
So have
because
you guys
I
heard
mean
anything about that?
I don't I don't know. I don't know where he would be at. I know that I've looked him up, but I know that I think he has a son with the same name, and so I really
yeah.
wasn't even
And I
able
got
to.
a contact with the son one time, trying to pretend like I was Joel's friend.
Yeah.
This was probably about 10, 15, maybe even 20 years ago. And I was
Technical
acting like I
difficulties
was
right
his
now.
dad's friend. And where was he? Because I was going to have some people go snag him up. And that way I could ask him, where's my friend?
Hmm.
And I tried to have someone snag him up right out of the jail. But the guy sat there and waited for him to get released, and he never got released. And then we found out they let him out earlier because he was in fear of his life of the Bass family.
My brother. Hmm. Yeah. Do you know if my brother's dad lived in town during that time, Tara, or no?
I
Because
don't
I
know.
don't
You know who
know.
would know that? Debbie Jackson,
Okay, I'll talk to
Debbie
Debbie.
Roan. She would know that. She even knows where his parents used to live. She don't know if he still lives there or not
No,
because
they live in Washington. I know that
okay.
now. Well, they did years ago. I'm gonna try to find his brother too, and maybe see if he'll do a DNA test as well. You know.
Right.
Hmm.
But like
Yeah, that'd be good. So is
the
there
dad
anything else you can?
situation, he was a trucker. I remember that. And who's to say he didn't pay Joel a bunch of money to deliver him to him? You don't know.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? We don't know. And
Yeah,
until Joel's ready to talk, we'll never know.
you're
But the
right,
truth
right.
lies with Joel.
It does. So is there anything else you guys have further before we sign out?
No, I just asked that if anybody sees this that knows anything to please contact us or the police department and report it, so that way we can have
And this
answers. They can
and this will
they can
be.
stay anonymous. They don't have to tell us their name or
Mm,
nothing. Just be anonymous. Just help me bring my brother home.
Yep.
right, right.
Hmm.
Please help this family. Get some answers to the disappearance. It'll be 30 years this year on August 28th, 1995. That 18-year-old Anthony Bass Jr. went missing from Atwater, California. Please, if anybody has any information about his disappearance, please do not hesitate to reach out to the Atwater Police Department or even reach us here. Again, I
Hmm.
want to thank Tara, and I also want to thank. Sorry, my got a little cough there. I'm sorry, Tara Dolores. I'm sorry.
DJ.
I got DJ. I'm sorry. I got a little tongue tied there. But I want to
You're
thank you
fine.
guys so much for coming on this podcast and sharing Anthony's story. You guys have a good night.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Thank
Okay, you
you.
too. Okay, good night.
Good night.
You too.